Hey, you caught me in the middle of trimming my Barbados cherry tree. It's one of the few cherry trees that we can grow here in Florida. We have to be really careful about the kinds of varieties that we pick because we just don't get the cold hours that most fruit trees need in order to produce fruit. This particular tree seems to produce fruit all year round. Its heaviest time of producing is between October and December. This one's not even a year old yet. And I have been pruning it quite severely because I don't want it to get real big. They say they could grow 20 feet, and I really don't want that, not here in this spot. I've debated about moving it. I had moved another one that was growing right across from it. They were both just little puppies when I bought them, about this big. And they've grown a lot. And I couldn't have room for two of them, that was for sure. So I moved the other one. It was in the dead of summer. I know, I broke all the rules, but I managed to keep it alive by watering it a lot. So I'm really tempted to do the same thing with this one. But either way, I still have to prune it because they just do better when you transplant them and they don't have a lot of foliage on them. I do have several cherries that I can see growing right now. It's the weirdest thing about this tree. The cherries are the same color as the leaves. They're really hard to see, and the foliage is quite thick. So I usually don't even see cherries on them until they're ripe. I'll walk out one morning and it looks like I have Christmas tree bulbs all over the tree. Let me show you one that's ripe. There it is. That's a Barbados cherry. Let's pick it. There we go. Now these have seeds. Several large seeds in them. I think there's 3 if I remember correctly. Let me open this for you just a second. Could have been a little bit riper. There's a seed right there. 1, 2, 3, yeah. 3 in each chamber. They taste pretty good. They're sweet tart, and but the only thing I don't like is those 3 seeds in the chamber. You have to really be careful of those because you could break a tooth very easily. I still got blossoms and still have green cherries, so let me show you what they look like when they're green. There's one right there. You can see how it's camouflaged. The color is just identical to the leaves. Well, I think I'm going to show you my banana trees. Everybody's been asking me how they're doing. So let's take a walk on over there. Well, as you can see, Sarah's not looking a whole lot different than when you saw her last, but the bananas are getting fuller. They say it takes about 2 months for them to ripen. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned because we've had cold weather in the 40s, and the banana plants themselves suffer in weather like that. So I hope they ripen soon. I've also heard that you can take them off of the plant like at this point and then they'll ripen in the house, but I was really wanting them to ripen on the plant. I just think that it's got to be tasting better than the ones you buy at the store that way. But I have a surprise for you. Guess what? Sarah has a little sister. Come on, I want to introduce you to Thumbeloo. Have a look at this, huh? Isn't she a beauty? She's not as big, she wasn't as prolific as Sarah. Sarah has a lot of bananas right around the very top, which is what is missing. But she still did pretty good. And we're waiting for her to ripen too. 2 banana plants with fruit on them. Can you believe it? So much fun. Wow, it's really hot today. It's the weirdest thing in Florida. You have a cold front comes through and it's like, you know, low 40s. The wind is blowing like crazy. You think you're in the Antarctica or something. Next day it's like this. Anyway.
You're a special baby. Hello, Tommy. Hello, Tommy.
I got to tell you what happened with my dogs. Come here. Hey, Mr. Always up to something. Mr. Always up to something, aren't you? Yes. Come up here and say hi to everybody. Say hi. Yeah, there's my good boy. Yes, he's a good fella. And you're going to say hi to everybody? You're going to tell him what you did? He was not a good boy. We have a neighbor who we really didn't know very well. She lives down the other end of the street, and she walks her 2 little dogs every single day, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. Anyway, last week, that little guy that I just showed you that looks so sweet, he broke out of our yard. And this woman just happened to be going by with her 2 little dogs. Well, if anyone who owns Parson Russell Taylors, aka Jack Russell Terrier, knows that these little guys are scrappers. I mean, they will fight at the drop of a hat. It doesn't matter whether they're up against a German Shepherd or Rottweiler, they are going to go for it. It's just in their nature. I'm not saying every single one is that way, but it's a predominant gene. And boy, I'll tell you what, ours aren't exempt from it. And it's the one thing I really don't like about the breed. Love everything else about them but that. Anyway, they were kind of like minding their own business. They're circling in the area where this woman's walking, but they weren't really messing with her dog. And I'm out there calling them. Well, the lady starts screaming because in their circling around and having fun, being happy that they're free, she starts screaming because she's afraid they're going to come near her dog. And that just drew the dogs in. I mean, that was just like saying, come and get it. I mean, it was really bad. And they still weren't attacking their dog, but one of their little dogs started barking and screeching, and my dog got a little bit closer, and the other dog snapped in the air between them and barked, and that's all it took. And my dog grabbed the other dog and started shaking it. It was horrible. It was really, really horrible, traumatic. The poor woman was just so upset, and I was afraid my dog was really going to kill that little dog. But thank God I was able to get him away, and he just didn't have a good hold on her, I guess. We immediately told the woman that, you know, we'd take her to the vet, we'll pay for it. And $1,000 later, yeah, it cost $1,000. It was after hours, of course. Every time anything happens with an animal, it's after hours, and you have to pay a whole lot more. And we were there for several hours waiting, and the dog was fine. He had to have some stitches and a little drain put in to keep it from getting infected or something. They put him on antibiotics, so the dog's okay, but it was so upsetting. And I'm telling you that because so many people ask me about my dogs. The other thing I wanted to tell you is they don't like each other in the house either. Male and female are fine. We've got 4 dogs, 2 males, 2 females. The males and females are good together, but if you put 2 males together or 2 females, they're going to fight. So we keep them separated. Each couple has their own room, and we only take 2 out at a time. That's why you'll never see 4 of them running around in my yard together. It's always 2. Anyway, the weird thing is, I could take them out on a leash to a park, out hiking with us, and they will walk side by side again with their enemy and never cause a single problem. As soon as you come back to the house, they're going at it. That's just the way they are. I'll show you what they look like when they're on leash together. Yep, there they are. Oh, shoot. My sweet little pack of puppies. No one would ever believe they're the dogs from hell. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, I don't know how I got on these subjects, but these are the kinds of things I think about when I'm out in the garden, along with praying. I always feel closest to God when I'm in the garden, and that really helps. Thanks for watching, everybody. God bless.